As the cool dawn of the spring sun stretches rosy fingers across the Prosper Valley, we see 4 individuals silhouetted before the sleepy town of Rithwick. The first of these individuals is a large, lumbering mass of muscle and ire. Plodding feet first is Krux Malfury, the half-orc barbarian. Following is the tiny pitter-patter of a seemingly diminutive halfling. Tuffy Stoutbelly, druid of the wilds, makes up for his small stature with his boundless jubilance. Next, we see a curious sight. A dragonborn of shimmering amethyst hue, Zendalyann Chaos Shroud stalks third in line. Her poise is super awesome, indeed. Finally, in last, we see a young high elf wizard, Thaine Wolfbane. While the furthest behind, he is the first to guide his allies with his patient wisdom and intellect. Rithwick never stood a chance. Yet these 4 would turn out to be exactly what the village needed. The Prosper Valley had been the epicenter of a growing malaise that was spreading like a disease, its corruption seeping into everything, be it man, beast, or nature itself. Some sought methods to cure this blight, such as the herbalist Louisa, yet others ignored the problems in pursuit of their own ambitions, such as Agur the Avarice. Both sought out the party for assistance in acquiring objects important to each of them. Our heroes were successful in these endeavors, and while braving the dangers of the countryside, came across a strange bauble crafted in the shape of a small skull from a shiny metal. Louisa was grateful, offering aid and succor to the party. Agur, on the other hand, well, he seemed to be up to more nefarious ends. Recently, a mercenary group known as the Black Coffins had set its eyes upon Rithwick. Spurred by a shadowy employer, they sought to take the town before the upcoming trade route negotiations by the local lord, Derek Alevil. The heroes were not alone, though. Their time in Rithwick had endeared them to some of the local populace. An old strife-cast dwarf turned innkeep named Bell Amberhand provided a wealth of knowledge of current events and going-ons. Restoring the faith of family to the town drunkard, Ulrich Brightfallow garnered his support and loyalty. They even managed to assist Cursed Dustfall, a tiefling witch hidden in the outskirts of town, much to the fury of the aforementioned Louisa. Rallying these individuals turned out to be the deciding factor in the days to come. When the Black Coffins arrived to take the town itself, the party stood in its defense. As the battle for the town of Rithwick wore on, its people dying in the streets, it seemed that the struggle would favor the party. However, Louisa, under the possession of a powerful demon, had sought aid from the Black Coffins as well. Entering the fight, she nearly tore her way through everyone. That was when a new ally would take to the field. A strange black dragonborn, wielding potent geomancy magic, slammed into the demon-spawned Louisa like a herd of elephants. And together, they weakened it enough so that Curse could seal the malignant spirit in a phylactery. Thus, with the Black Coffins shattered, the demon sealed, it seemed that Rithwick was safe at last. Several days later, the party awoke to learn that Lord Alevil had arrived. Rewarding the newly dubbed heroes, they would be recognized for their selfless acts to the realm. After mending themselves, they learned that Curse was gravely wounded during the binding. They also ascertained the name of the Black Dragonborn, Sorvineth. Sorvineth the Black was a wandering geomancer seeking the source of the corruption affecting the region. With the hero's help, he managed to divine the source. Several days to the north, there was a convergence point that suggested the origin of the corruption. Accompanying the heroes, Sorvineth guided them to a cavern infested with a horde of drudges, local goblinoids that had long harassed Rithwick. The group fought through all manner of traps and defenses, one of which afflicted Krux with a crippling malaise. Delving ever deeper, it was discovered that buried under the mountains were the remains of a large creature. Further investigation revealed the bones of what could only be a true dragon, a monstrous beast known only in myth and legend. Guarding the spell's focal point was a drudge oracle who had somehow attained intellect enough to communicate in the common tongue and wield devastating frost magic, a heretofore unheard of feat by any drudge. Together, the heroes exterminated the drudge threat, ending the spell and releasing its grip on the Prosper Valley. Searching the remains revealed many things. Amongst the refuse was a Mhientaye, an ancient artifact used to store important knowledge. Also, it was learned that this was the location of a once powerful spell that the drudges had been drawn to. While examining the caverns, Thaine felt the pull of something in his pack. Reaching into it, he found the demon phylactery, and no recollection of how it got there. A grave thought, to be sure. It was at this point that the voice that had been plaguing Thaine revealed both itself and a third metal skull. With 3 in hand, an apparition of a woman formed before them. Informing the party that she was once whole and shattered by a spell long ago, she was able to communicate more fully now that parts of her were in proximity to one another. Unfortunately, she had little other knowledge to offer at this time, forgetting much of who and what she once was. With one question answered, many more had been asked. Secure in the fact that the Prosper Valley would be safe, the heroes returned to town. Back in Rithwick, it was learned that the High King had died. Suspicion of assassination was rife within the capital, and had forced Lord Evil and his retinue to return to court as fast as possible. This dire tiding was only compounded by the demoralized Krux, still afflicted by the debilitating spell that seemed to be wasting him away now. With his time in this world seeming short, Krux decided he needed to hunt down the last of the Black Coffins who murdered his family. As the waning sun dipped into the mountains, Krux Malfury departed, leaving with good tidings to follow his own destiny. End of Season